If you don't like revisionist history but still enjoy a good origin tale, then listen up. Two engineers started Tesla in 2003, Martin Eberhard, Mark Tarpenning. Elon shows up later and changes everything. In 2003, Tesla was born, thanks to Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Fast forward to 2004, Elon Musk invests $6.5 million. He becomes the biggest shareholder. He's chairman at first, not the founder. But boardroom drama kicks in. Leadership fights, missed deadlines. Internal tension. By 2007, things get messy. Eberhard gets pushed out. In 2008, amid a brutal financial crisis, Musk steps in as CEO. He pours in his own cash, nearly goes broke, gambles. The company's survival. The risk paid off, Tesla survives, then explodes into a company worth hundreds of billions. So did Elon found Tesla? No. Did he transform it into what it is today? Absolutely. Follow for more real startup stories.
Bernie Madoff ran the biggest scam in history, fooling everyone from celebrities to charities. Millions trusted him with their life savings, believing he had a genius investment strategy. He promised massive, consistent returns every single year and claimed his methods were completely foolproof. People were blinded by greed and trust, giving him more and more money. But it was all a lie. He paid old investors with money from new investors, keeping the scheme running for decades without anyone suspecting a thing. Then came 2008. The financial crisis exposed the fraud, and his empire collapsed almost overnight. Investors were devastated, losing their entire fortunes and life savings. Madoff was arrested and eventually sentenced to 150 years in prison. He became a symbol of greed and deception, a cautionary tale for everyone who trusts blindly. If you want more shocking stories from the world of finance, hit like and subscribe for more. He saved FedEx with a casino bet. Imagine your startup is down to its last $5,000, and that's exactly where Fred Smith found himself in 1973. With bankruptcy looming and fuel bills unpaid, he made a desperate trip to Las Vegas. In a single blackjack hand, he turned those last scraps into $27,000. That win covered FedEx's fuel bill, about $24,000, and kept the planes flying for just one more week. That gritty decision gave Smith time to secure another $11 million in funding, take FedEx public, and transform a near-death venture into a global logistics giant valued in the tens of billions. It wasn't just luck, it was a second chance at survival that changed the course of business history. They call it the heist of the century. Between 2009 and 2015, more than $4.5 billion vanished from Malaysia's 1MDB sovereign fund. Financier Jho Low and officials funneled the money through offshore shell companies, buying a $250 million super yacht, luxury real estate in Beverly Hills and Manhattan, rare art, and even financed Hollywood films like The Wolf of Wall Street. Najib Razak, then Prime Minister of Malaysia, was convicted of corruption. Goldman Sachs paid over $3.9 billion in settlements. And ex-banker Tim Leissner pleaded guilty, receiving a prison sentence and forfeiting $43.7 million. Investigators have since recovered over $1.4 billion in assets. And yet Jho Low, the scandal's mastermind, remains a fugitive, still evading justice. The Bank for Criminals, BCCI, was the bank of crooks and criminals, growing to $20 billion with global reach. It promised safe banking, luring depositors worldwide, but it was a front for money laundering, arms deals, and terrorism financing. They bribed officials and hid losses with fake loans for years. In 1991, the truth exploded, costing depositors billions. Auditors settled for $175 million, but the full web of corruption lingers. BCCI's fall took 21 years to unwind, a stark reminder of banking's dark side. Comment below the most shocking thing a bank has done. FTX was crypto's rising star, led by Sam Bankman-Fried, promising secure trading for millions. Investors flocked, trusting his genius and billions in assets. He misused customer funds for risky bets and personal luxury, hiding massive holes in the balance sheet. Everyone saw him as a visionary hero. But in 2022, a liquidity crisis exposed the $8 billion fraud, and FTX imploded overnight. Users lost everything in the crypto winter. Bankman-Fried got 25 years in prison, shaking the crypto world forever. How did Volkswagen cheat the world out of billions? This evil car giant ripped off its huge customer base. They rigged diesel engines to pass emissions tests, fooling regulators and buyers everywhere. Millions trusted their clean diesel promise, buying cars by the millions. They installed software that detected tests and faked low emissions, hiding the truth for years. Everyone believed they were eco-friendly innovators, but the scam was exposed, costing Volkswagen $30 billion in fines and recalls. How did the rich stop paying taxes? They ingeniously hid their fortunes in offshore shells, fooling tax authorities worldwide. Leaders and celebrities used Mossack Fonseca's law firm to dodge paying their fair share of taxes. They created fake companies to evade taxes and launder money, keeping it all under wraps for decades. Everyone thought it was untouchable, but their luck ran out in 2016. About 11.5 million documents leaked, sparking global outrage and investigations. Governments recovered billions in unpaid taxes, prime ministers resigned, and offshore reforms followed. How does Nestlé exploit children for chocolate profits? The food giant has been accused of using child labor in cocoa farms and privatizing water sources worldwide. Billions buy their products, trusting the good food, good life slogan. But in reality, this evil company has drained community water for bottling while kids work in hazardous conditions. They were finally exposed. Lawsuits and boycotts hit in the 2010s to 2020s, costing millions in settlements. Public outrage forced some reforms, but controversies persist. FTX was crypto's rising star, led by Sam Bankman-Fried, promising secure trading for millions. Investors flocked, trusting his genius and billions in assets. He misused customer funds for risky bets and personal luxury, hiding massive holes in the balance sheet. Everyone saw him as a visionary hero. But in 2022, a liquidity crisis exposed the $8 billion fraud, and FTX imploded overnight. Users lost everything in the crypto winter. Bankman-Fried got 25 years in prison. How did General Motors kill over 100 people? The auto giant ignored faulty ignition switches in millions of cars, leading to deadly crashes and cover-ups. Drivers trusted GM cars to keep them safe, but they were wrong. While driving, their car switches turned off unexpectedly, disabling airbags and power steering. For 13 years, GM knew but hid it, prioritizing profits over lives. In 2014, the truth exploded with 30 million recalls worldwide. It cost GM $900 million in fines and $600 million in settlements. If you want more shocking finance stories, hit like and subscribe.
Car giant behind the leaf in the skyline. Well, their biggest scandal wasn't about cars, it was about their CEO. Carlos Ghosn, the man who saved Nissan from bankruptcy, was arrested in 2018 for allegedly hiding $80 million in pay. But here's the insane part. He didn't wait for trial. He hid inside a musical instrument case, got smuggled onto a private jet, and escaped Japan in the middle of the night. Now Ghosn is living as a fugitive in Lebanon, while Japanese prosecutors are still furious they lost the most high-profile corporate criminal in their history. Nissan's reputation tanked, billions in value evaporated, and their leadership collapsed. So the question is, was Ghosn a greedy CEO, or the mastermind of the most daring corporate escape ever pulled off?
Random Amazon products you should get. First is this robot. It's a moving home camera with a two-way speaker so you can check in on your pets from anywhere. This suction bath mat turns any standard tub into a slip-proof spa experience. This lion latch is a literal vault for your rings. It locks onto your keys so you never lose your jewelry. This scalp massager uses 4 heated silicone claws to mimic a professional head massage. This ultrasonic cleaner uses high-frequency vibrations to make old jewelry look brand new in 60 seconds. This ottoman actually doubles as a professional grade foot and calf massager with built-in heat.